Well, it's going to be an action-packed weekend in the world of sports. And as usual, we will be your guide here. We would do our best to inform you, educate you, and as well entertain you as we crisscross the very exciting world of sport. My name is Yemi Adebayo, and it gives me pleasure to welcome you to the Friday edition of the show. There's football on the menu this morning. There's Formula One. There's basketball. But before we go into all of that, let's check out our headlines. Well, the Nigeria's Golden Eaglets will be seeking to cross the last hurdle in the bid to qualify for the Africa Junior Championship. The World Under-17 champions have a 2-1 first leg deficit against Gabon to overturn. Action begins tomorrow at the FIFA Basketball World Cup. Action begins in Turkey. 16 teams will begin the campaign for the trophy. British Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton says he is determined to win in Japan and keep his lead in the championship as the 2015 race calendar gradually winds down. Of course, this is surprising. Former Serbia center Darko Milicic, known as one of the biggest flops in the history of the NBA draft, is switching from basketball to kickboxing. Very awkward change, but we'll be filling you in with all of that as we go on the show this morning. Like I said, there's a lot on the show this morning, but we're going to go on a break. When we come back from that break, I will introduce my partners on the show this morning. But let's go on that break, catch our breath, and come back for more on sports this morning. Welcome back. Highlights from the German Bundesliga. You saw Borussia Dortmund there and some of the big teams in the German league. Well, let me quickly introduce my partners on the show to you. They're no strangers to the Friday edition of the show. To my immediate right, that's Telema Davis.
Yeah, good morning.
And Tonte.
Good morning.
Yeah, I know you guys are very passionate about sports as I am, and it's always a pleasure for me to bring you here on Friday mornings. But guys, let's talk about the Golden Eaglets. We said it's the last hurdle to get to the. Let's remember they are world champions, but not African champions. Probably there's still something in it, and they have a 2-1 first leg deficit against Gabon to overturn, and a lot of drama before the first leg took place. But this weekend, hopefully, we're expecting that the Golden Eaglets, let me start with you, Telema. We're expecting that the Golden Eaglets will be able to overturn that deficit. Is it too much to ask, or you feel they should be able to do that?
It's not too much to ask, and in all fairness to the Golden Eaglets, like you mentioned, there was a lot of drama, prior to their meeting with the Gabonese side, but in coming this weekend, I believe strongly at that the Golden Eaglets will definitely overturn the deficit against their Gabonese counterparts. They were just unfortunate to have actually gone down, but good enough they actually did nip a goal in the net and behind them, the Gabonese. So that should actually count for them coming in this weekend as well.
Today is nothing. Is I don't know if he agrees. That away goal it puts us in a very good position.
Yes, to start with, from that point, it puts Nigeria, the Golden Eaglets, in a good position. And then, but going further again, related to the drama ahead of that first leg, I won't perceive that they were psychologically imbalanced.
Yes.
Taking off
They were
balance
going to
because of the
travel.
whole
They
thing.
were not going to travel.
So
the drama.
that psychological imbalance was there
And
at
the
further
red
perspective.
card
But
in
now
that game
coming
as
back
well.
home, it's the red card in that game. Coming back home, psychologically speaking, I feel that the balance is going to be there because they are at home.
Okay.
And this time, the ball is in their court for them to go all out against the Gabonese and win the game.
All right. This is wishing Coach Emmanuel Amunike and his boys all the best. It will be a disaster of immense proportions if we don't get to play at the Africa Junior Championship. But you can trust the boys. You would expect that they would do the job. Well, let's leave our Golden Eaglets and talk about the CAF Champions League. These days, we're not as excited as we would love to be talking about the CAF Champions League, and the reason is obvious. We don't have teams playing in this competition. But semi-finals fixtures, the second leg, first leg played I think 2 weeks ago, and CS Sfaxien playing at home to AS Vita, and AS Vita has the lead from the first leg. And of course, TP Mazembe, I mean, I envy the way this club is run. TP Mazembe also working on thin ice. They're playing against Anton Setif. Anton Setif have the advantage from the first leg. I don't know if you guys have any crystal balls, but let me start with Tonte if you have any crystal ball. But looking at it, it is now. What do you think will happen when both teams, all these teams, take to the field tomorrow to decide who gets to play in the final?
Yeah, for TP Mazembe, for Eton Setif, it's going to be a tough one for them because TP Mazembe are experienced. They have that experience at this level.
Yes.
They've been consistent, and they're a good side. For a couple of the guys have been together for the past few years, and so they
most of them play in their national team as well.
Exactly. So, but when you know how things work in Africa, when you're on the road, away to your opponent, the way officiating, the way the players would do,
some underhand tactics here and there.
So, but TP Mazembe, for them, is their core. With these factors which I've pointed out, I believe that they're going to go all out against Anton Setif, and they want to get that win against them. So, but that away goal, which is also a good advantage for them. So, it's them for their grabs.
What about AS Vita? You feel the advantage from the first leg will count for something?
Well, given the fact they actually have the lead in terms of goals, you would actually expect that they would actually go all out. But there's one thing coming against North African teams, and even like in reference to what I saw between TP Mazembe and Eton Setif, the whole drama they were actually trying to come up with, the whole scheme. Yeah. Trying to play the referee into and all that, and CX and Sfaxien, as in they are home tough, and I really don't see how AS Vita will be able to go past them, except something exceptional comes out from that, from their play against.
If you're playing non-Africans,
it's always dramatic.
Whatever you want to do it on the field. If it's outside of the field, they are better.
Yeah.
Politics, underhand tactics, they are better.
Yeah.
So if you're going to win, we all know that no referee would disallow a good goal.
Yeah, they definitely
score a good goal.
And we just can't take away the psychological role. When it comes to athleticism and performance, this is definitely going to be one that AS Vita would have to be psychologically up to
balanced,
to really take on.
Okay, what about CAF Confederations Cup? AC Leopards playing at home have an advantage from the first leg, taking on Sewa Sport. Hal Hali. Well, in spite of all their problems, still in the semi-final, we're playing Coton Sport. Coton Sport have an advantage from the first leg. Let me start with Telema. I don't know, where do you think these things will go this weekend?
For Al Ali, Egyptian football has actually been in a crisis in the last 2-3 years. And it's quite unfortunate, the way the turn of events have actually been. However, this is home turf. North Africa again, so to speak, and Cotton Sport going away, being on the road. it's a dicey one. Though they actually do have the edge over,
slim advantage,
very slim edge over Al Ahly. But then again, I don't. It's difficult to make a call against Al Ahly. Very difficult.
AC Leopards, for me, would definitely want to make sure, first of all, that they do not concede.
You scored away, you didn't concede.
So that's these factors.
A goalless draw might just be enough.
Exactly.
So
As long as they don't concede a goal, it's enough.
If left to them, they probably want to pack the ball. So, and as long as, like we just pointed out, they don't concede,
it's enough. They're home and dry. Okay, all right. So that's it. Talking about teams on the continent, it does leave a sore taste in your mouth because no Nigerian team is involved, and probably some of the things happening on the domestic scene might be the reason. But we hope that in years to come, when we're talking about this stage in CAF competitions, we'll have one or two Nigerian teams as it used to be in times past. Okay, guys, let's travel abroad and let's talk about arguably the most glamorous league in the world. Arguably the best league in the world. It's up for debate anyway, but English Premier League, and these are the fixtures. Liverpool will take on, I know you want to talk about this, but let me quickly run through the fixtures. Liverpool will take on Everton, Chelsea take on Aston Villa, Crystal Palace will take on Leicester, Hull City take on Manchester City, Manchester United, hoping to recover from that loss last week, will take on West Ham, Southampton will take on Queen's Park Rangers. These are some of the fixtures. Of course, Sunderland will take on Swansea, Arsenal will take on Tottenham, West Brom will take on Burnley, and of course, Stoke City will take on Newcastle. Let me start with Telemat. Two fixtures jump at you. Okay, you look at the Merseyside derby. Let me allow you to talk about that one. What do you think will happen? You always have a feeling that Liverpool seem to be better equipped than Everton, but they have a manager, Roberto Martinez. They seem to do well against the big teams.
It's not looking too good, though it's early days. It's not looking too good yet for Liverpool. Their performance have actually been in big parts, and given the fact that they've actually lost two Premier League games in back-to-back now, it's pretty
not being consistent.
Not being consistent, and it's quite strange that in the departure of Suarez and with the transfer move for Balotelli, you would actually expect that a lot of things will actually happen up front, though they're not exactly like strikers. But then again, a lot of things will actually happen forward. But so far, it seems Sturridge's absence has really been missed by Liverpool in itself, because Sturridge has been the one doing a great deal of the job up front. You know, and even in his partnership with Balotelli has actually.
Let me quickly ask you this before I go to Tonte and talk about the London derby. Some people are already looking at what happened to Tottenham last year when Gareth Bale left, and they bought 5-6 players, couldn't replace one person with 5-6 players. I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if you've seen that for Liverpool. Some have also said maybe the fixture congestion. Last year, they dropped out of most of all the competitions. They had just the EPL. Now they are in 4. Okay, maybe 3 now. So, are they cracking under pressure?
They're not exactly cracking under pressure, but it's just that thing of being able to replace Suarez with the kind of players,
right kind of
players that will actually make the team. I understand the fact that Brendan Rodgers is actually trying to build a team, not putting a lot of emphasis on one player,
individuals.
But it's really difficult.
You still need a game winner.
You still need a game winner.
Okay.